Hey, it's Jordan. I've received an overwhelming amount of comments on my videos lately about people saying how they don't know what's next for them in life. And this could be the way the planets are moving. We are in a retrograde right now, but regardless of when you see this video, going through periods of not knowing is very important for our overall growth and evolution. Getting comfortable with not knowing allows you to learn. If you already knew everything that you thought you needed to know, what would there be to learn? So a good shift in this perspective of not knowing is, what am I learning right now? How am I being creative with my environment? How am I in harmony with my environment? And I know there could be times where that not knowing can feel like a lot of pressure. Like there were times in my life when I was living out of my car, not knowing where I was going to stay that night, not knowing how I was going to get money to pay bills, not knowing all this stuff that was in my life that was important for my survival, essentially. But that not knowing allows you to be open, and that not knowing allows you to be creative, and you will find a way. There's always a path that opens up when you least expect it. There's always some twist in the story that you are cared for, you are taken care of. Life takes care of life. As long as you are taking steps, as long as you are taking action in the right direction of your dreams, then this path will unfold before you. And when we don't move in the direction of our dreams, sometimes the pain teacher comes and teaches us things that we need to learn. We can either move towards our dream or we can move away from pain. But either way, we're gonna get pushed and we're gonna learn lessons. We're gonna grow. And it's much more easy to lean into the growth of our dreams. And when I tapped into why are people feeling this way, I got the visualization of, I don't know if you remember, I haven't even seen these around recently, but the little coin machine where you put a coin in and it begins to go around in circles, and then it speeds up and eventually it breaks through and gets to the bottom of the little funnel, let's call it. So if you're in this period of not knowing, you could be in this funnel of you need to have patience. And then actually the closer you get to a breakthrough, the closer you get to moving into this next chapter, it speeds up that feeling of when am I going to get to the next level? When is this next chapter going to start? It actually gets more and more, and that pressure just builds, and you can feel it closing in on you. And gotta remember, no pressure, no diamonds. If you are being called towards greatness, you're gonna have to handle pressure. You're gonna have to learn to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. If you just wanna float through life and not chase after any deeper expansion, any deeper growth, if you just want to watch TV and drink beer, then you won't have this pressure. But then the pain teacher is going to come, so it's kind of unavoidable actually. So it's better to lean into this pressure of when is the next chapter going to start. And this state of innocence, pay attention to what does it feel like? What is it like to be in that not knowing? I mean, even in the Bible, the first beginning chapter or whatever, the eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil is what was the fall of man. And so that is a beautiful metaphor for, we think we need to know good, we think we need to know evil, when in reality, we need to learn to be okay with not knowing. We need to come back to innocence. And innocence is a beautiful word when you break it down. Innocence is in no sense. When we are in no sense, when we are completely free, when we are empty of all the stories that we're carrying, when we're empty of how we think things should go, when we're empty of the knowledge that we're carrying, and we enter into this knowing. There's a big difference between knowledge and knowing, and then the not knowing, which is perfectly fine. Why do you think you need to know how everything works? You don't. You don't need to know how the story unfolds. This story is, you wouldn't want to know. It would take all of the juice out of your life if you knew exactly what you were going to do, when you were going to die, what was going to happen every step of the way. There'd be no suspense, there'd be no drama. You need a little bit of what's going to happen, and that pressure is what you'll begin to feel. And I would say, if you don't know, you can become like children. Like, children don't know. They don't know anything. They come into this world fresh and clean and empty, and they're learning all the time. When you hang out with kids, they're constantly exploring and testing things out and feeling different things and asking questions, and they don't know. They're just completely good with not knowing, and in that not knowing, there's this wonder and this curiosity and the mystery. Because ultimately, even if you did know all the things in your life that you think you need to know, there's still an element of mystery. There's still an aspect of this reality that we don't know. There's so many things that we're never going to know about existence. And that's perfectly fine, and it makes life more interesting, more fulfilling. It's just built into the programming of this place. And I'll give you this exercise to practice if you never heard this, if you want to know what you think your next step should be, if you don't know your purpose, all of that. What would you do if you didn't need money? If you had all the money in the world, let's say you had $100,000 or $100 million. You had more money than you could spend in a lifetime. How would you spend your time? What would you do? And this experiment begins to bring up what your actual calling would be, and what you would engage in, how you would move in the world. Like, if I had $100 million, I'd still be making videos. I'd still be helping people on their spiritual growth, on their holistic health. This is just what I love to do. This is my calling. This is why I came to Earth, to help raise the frequency of this planet. I just know it in my bones. And so that gives me energy, that gives me momentum and confidence in knowing what I'm doing is what I want to do. I'm not moved by money. Yes, I need to make money, and I need to have people invest in themselves. I've tried to help people for free, and they don't take this work seriously. They'll just not take it seriously. I've worked with people where they pay money and they're invested and they take it sincerely and they want to grow and they want to learn. And when I work with people for free, they just kind of, oh yeah, you said that, I just should have done that, but I didn't. And well, here we are. And it just, there's no growth because people aren't invested in themselves. And so you can look at that in your own life? What are you investing in? Are you investing in yourself? Are you trying to figure out what's next for you? Like, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of dollars in classes and workshops and trainings and so many different things I've put my energy and money and intention in to get to this place where I can share what I've been through. And it's through that you begin to learn what's next for you. What are you drawn to? And there's no good or bad. It's just whatever you're naturally drawn to. Like, if you had no money issues and you could just do whatever, what would it be? This is what you should begin to pursue. This is what you should start spending more time with. And even if it's just, you only have 10 minutes a day, every day, that's hundreds of hours by the end of the year. And sometimes you can get an hour a day, sometimes you get a couple hours a day. Like, it just begins to snowball, and eventually you'll move into this new place where you get to do what you're actually excited about, and you break through. So if you don't know, sit with that not knowing, and use it as an alchemy, use it as growth. And that confusion and not knowing means you're growing. That means you're moving into a new stage, a new chapter. Any of this resonates and you'd like to talk to me one-on-one, I offer consultations and coaching. Hit up my website. Love to hear from you. Otherwise, have a great, blessed day.